So you know how to reach me if you want me, I think. So I see that I know some of you already. That's great as well. If you want to talk with me at some point, I'm very happy to do so. We have an excellent master's and PhD program here at UTD. We've got, you guys have met some of our faculty members already in your coursework, and they are excited to have UTD graduates, alumni, join them in their research programs. So let me know if there are things that you would like for me to be helpful with, but I think I'll just leave my remarks at that for this morning and turn it back over to you, JB.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks a lot. So let me go ahead and move on for next. So let me briefly talk about the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellow. That please look at this. Eric Johnson School recognized 2020 last year National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellows. We have a total of 8 our own graduate students or our alumni received this NSF Graduate Research Fellow, and 1 honorable mention. So total of 9 people were recognized from our own program. And from 2015, we have a total of 20 students got this NSF Graduate Research Fellow, and it is increasing. So, one of those awardees last year is Wesley Browner. So Wesley is a speaker today. So we'll listen to him shortly. Okay. And here is another the NSF Graduate Research Fellow, selected last year. He is Asim Ghazi. He graduated from our program in 2018, and he is currently a student at Georgia Tech. So he shared his story as well. So you can see, all these students' stories in Johnson School website, and they have done it. Why can't you? So there is an opportunity, and we can listen to the Wesley's story. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Wesley Browner. So Wesley graduated from our EE program last year, and he's currently a PhD student in EE program. And as I mentioned, he's an NSF Graduate Research Fellow, and at the same time, using McDermott Graduate Fellow. So Wesley, would you like me to use my slide, or you want to use your own slide?
It does not really matter to me, whichever is the easiest for you.
Okay, so I'll, just to tell me, and then I will, yeah.
Yes, sir. So hi. Yeah, as Dr. Lee mentioned, I'm Wesley Browner. And yeah, so essentially, I would kind of sort of like to first of all talk about, why, you might want to actually consider pursuing a graduate degree. And so, yeah, so I'll actually tell a little bit about myself and a little bit about why I actually decided to pursue a graduate degree. And essentially, during while I was working in my undergrad degree, I realized I actually started conducting research, I believe in 2017. And I realized that I actually really enjoyed doing that. And I essentially wished to actually continue conducting research. And after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, there was pretty much only one way to really go about doing that, and that was actually to pursue a PhD. So there are a couple of other reasons why you might consider a graduate degree. So there are actually more opportunities for both national and international research. And I mean, you are able to as an undergrad, but you don't really have as many opportunities as an undergrad as a PhD. Or even a master's student. But if that's not enough to convince you, then I believe Dr. Lee will be talking about this a little bit later. But essentially, the average income for somebody with a graduate degree is actually higher, considerably higher than for somebody without a graduate degree. So I believe it's around 98,000 with a bachelor's degree. And then starting with an MS degree, we'll have an average income of about 112,000. And then with a PhD, you'll have an average income of around 130,000. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so now I would also like to talk about, why you might actually
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. Why I might actually want to consider pursuing a graduate degree at UTD and with the UTD ECE grad program. So the first thing that which Dr. Lee will actually talk about in a little bit more detail later on as well, is the UTD Fast Track program, which is really great if you're an undergrad. It allows you to essentially take up to 15 hours of graduate courses as an undergrad, which will significantly speed up which will significantly speed up your progress towards a master's degree, or if you want a PhD degree as well. The other thing, or another thing, is that if you have been actually conducting research here at UTD already as an undergrad, you will probably already have a good working relationship with your supervisor, and can actually continue conducting research on projects that you've been working on. And this is actually one of the primary reasons I myself stayed at UTD. I had found a great research mentor who actually had enabled me to pursue my research interests and essentially helped me develop my skills as a researcher. On top of that, he actually allowed me to use some of the connections he had formed, whether it was from conferences or whatever, to visit various research groups around the world as an undergrad, which was really helpful for something that I'll be talking about here in a little bit as well. Even if you haven't necessarily found a group yet that you, or even if you haven't been conducting research yet, there are actually a large number of labs in the ECE program, and they're working on a large number of projects. So you have labs working on projects ranging from like green energy, to robotics, and even why here, because this is kind of sort of something that I'm working on myself. Even something as exotic as beyond CMOS computing. And so, anyways, depending on your chosen field of research, you may also have access to a variety of organizations, including the Texas Analog Center of Excellence, or Texas ACE, which is essentially an international university-based research organization that is also the world's largest university-based analog research institution. And the best thing about it is that it is actually based right here at UTD. And they also offer a graduate fellowship of their own. So, if you'd be interested in applying to that, you can definitely do so. And so for the last thing, I would, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so for the last thing, I would actually like to talk about the NSF Graduate Research Fellowship itself. And so there are a number of reasons why you might want to consider applying to the fellowship. The first thing is that it is great for a resume. It is very highly, it is very prestigious, and it is an exclusive fellowship as well. And receiving one, or even just an honorable mention, can definitely help you out with a job search once you graduate with your degree. The other thing, or another thing, is that you'll actually be able to receive around $12,000 annually that will be applied directly to tuition and fees, in addition to a $34,000 annual salary for your 3 years on tenure. So essentially, you'll have 5 years. So if you receive the fellowship, you'll have 5 years that you will be considered a fellow, and 3 of those years will be on tenure. And for those 3 years, you will essentially receive that annual salary. And for the other 2 years, you will not, but you'll still be a fellow. And then after those 5 years are over, you'll essentially no longer be a fellow. And then, yeah, so another thing is one thing that I actually realized that I forgot to include on the slide. There are actually additional funding opportunities provided by the NSF GRFP for fellows that actually allows fellows to conduct research at labs around the world. So you have two separate programs. One of them is called GRIP, which essentially allows you to visit and conduct research at national laboratories around the country. And then the other one is actually called GROW, or Graduate Research Opportunities Worldwide, I think it's called, which actually funds research opportunities at international universities. So you can actually apply to one of these programs and essentially choose where you might want to conduct research for a few months, and then the NSF will actually fund that, or help fund that research at the very least. Including travel costs and things like that as well. And then last but not least, if you decide to pursue a PhD here at UTD with an NSF fellowship, that will actually automatically qualify you for the Eugene McDermott Graduate Fellowship here at UTD without actually having to be nominated. And this fellowship actually provides additional income in addition to a $10,000 annual research budget for each of the 3 years you're on tenure with the NSF fellowship. And that research budget can be used for anything from like conference travel and costs to research equipment to even honor society membership fees. And then there are actually a few things that I would like to recommend, if you do decide to apply. So the first thing is that you can actually apply twice, once as an undergrad and again as an undergrad student. And then another thing is that having conducted research is not strictly necessary for or to apply for the NSF fellowship, but having done so is actually is a major benefit when applying, because they actually specifically look for people who have conducted research and who actually show promise as graduate researchers. And so having, showing, a history of actually having conducted good research is very important for the application. Another thing is that 2 references are absolutely required for an application to be considered, but it is highly recommended that you actually have 3. And, again, that kind of sort of ties into the whole, showing a history of having good research. And so another thing is that you should actually start really early. So the application session opens sometime in August every year. So essentially, you should already have your 3 references as well as 2 backup references. You should already have your references sorted out. And then you should also start working on your essays before the application opens. And the reason why I can do this is because the essays are essentially the same every year. There are 3 different essays that you need to write. And, starting early essentially will give you time to actually really write a good application essay, or 3 good application essays. And the last and most important points are that you should definitely find a good mentor / supervisor. And not only can they, help you out with the application by writing a reference, they can also help you find other reference writers through their own connections, which is kind of sort of what happened in my case as well. There were some connections that I've been, were of my supervisors who had actually been working, or who I had been working with for several years by the time I had, applied. And they had agreed to actually write references, and so this will actually help out a lot as well. And then, that's also kind of sort of similar to the last point, and that is, connections. Connections are probably going to be one of the most important things that you're going to need for the NSF fellowship. And, having worked extensively with groups other than your own will actually allow, any reference writers from those groups to actually write better letters for you. And this sort of collaboration is actually another thing that the NSF actually looks for when deciding, which or who to choose to receive fellowships. And so, the more such collaborations you have, the better off you will be. And that's essentially my 2 cents worth on the NSF fellowship. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Lee.
Thanks a lot, Wesley. That was wonderful. As Wesley mentioned, there are tons of rewards once you receive this research fellowship, and not just during the tenure of the fellowship. Even after your graduation, you have this the beautiful one line in your resume that you are awardee of the NSF Graduate Research Fellowship. That will be really on highlight of your resume, and it will pave your path forward. Actually, there were, the Wesley shared very great, the tips right here that I did not even know, so this is great. And I thank you so much, Wesley. Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
So let me move on. I think I can make it full screen. Okay. So now I can use. So why master's degree? Well, Wesley already mentioned it, but if you look at the some of the statistics, that the average salary for an electrical engineer with a bachelor's degree is 98,000, while it is 111,800 for master's degree holder. So generally, electrical engineers with an advanced degree will earn considerably more over their careers. Well, that is one thing, but if you look at our graduate program, the vast majority of our master's students and PhD students are from foreign countries, and they don't have any background in the educational background in America, but they just get the 2 years education as a master's student, and they can get a job in high quality job and high paying job. And I see, some of our undergraduate students, some students easily get a job, but some group of people who, even though they have the excellent academic record and those kind of things, they have a hard time getting a job, a decent job. Why? It is because today's industry and electrical and computer engineering, telecommunication engineering, those kind of industry, they seek people with advanced degree. So master's degree is absolutely one of the best investment one can do. But I know undergraduate students, you have so many things to think about, and maybe you have a lot of the loans, and you need to pay for, and you want to get a job as soon as you get a degree. But as a matter of fact, it is way easier to get a job with a master's degree than bachelor's degree. That's what I want to say. Of course, the much higher pay. So how long does it take to get a master's degree? The first bullet point, to get your master's degree in 1 year, if you're in the fast track program. So if you are eligible for the fast track program, in theory, you can get master's degree in 1 year after your bachelor's degree. Okay. I'm going to talk about the detail about the fast track program later. Okay. Not as eligible for fast track program, then we recently reduced master's degree requirements from 33 semester credit hours to 30 semester credit hours. So if you take 9 semester credit hours in long semesters, and you can get your degree just by taking some of the courses, 999 plus 3, and that is 30 semester credit hours. That will be basically 3 long semesters and 1 summer. Basically 1.5 years, you can get a master's degree if you just only focus on the courses. Well, if you're so motivated and you're academically excellent and high GPA, then you can be approved to take the more than 9 semester credit hours. So if you take 12 semester credit hours, absolutely you can take you can get your degree within 1.5 years. Okay. So here is a slide from one of our alumnus provided. He has been working in the industry for more than 10 years. And basically the point he wants to talk about is why graduate degree qualify you for more jobs and make you more well-rounded and hone your critical thinking skills and keep you competitive for future job market and earn you $20,000 more than undergraduate degree holders. So basically, there is a story like this, and I want all undergraduate students to understand this. So now, with that, I'd like to move on for overview of our department, the graduate program. So here is a very brief overview about the Johnson School and ECE department. In ECE department, we have 1,100 bachelor's degree, the undergraduate students, and a little bit more than 200 and a little bit more than 200 the both master's and PhD students. We have 39 tenure track faculty member and 18 professors of instructions, and they are really high quality teachers. Out of those, we have 16 IEEE fellows. 16 IEEE fellows, that is a high number. I'm not sure how many undergraduate students really understand the importance, but this is really high number. If you look at the other school, the quality of faculty, it is not easy to see that high number. The annual research expenditures in our department is a little bit more than 13 million. And the internships of graduate students, look at this number, 2018 and 2019, 56 students took internships, and 19 and 20, 138 students took internships. So if you look at this numbers of graduate students, almost everyone who wanted to take the internships, they got the internship during their the graduate program. Okay. So here are top employers of the UTD ECE graduate students. Just Intel Corporation alone, they hired more than 150 students, graduate students from our ECE program for the past 5 years. So in average, 30 students from our ECE graduate program per year, okay? And then it is followed by Qualcomm, Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Texas Instrument. And these numbers are just for some of the some trackable the student numbers that we can track on. Not everybody is reporting that they get a job and then they report to us. So this is bare minimum number. So you can see how highly we are sought. Our graduate students are sought after by all these high quality, top-notch industry. I'm not sure how many of you were aware about the Johnson Career Services. In Eric Johnson School, we have the department called Johnson Career Services, and they help you to get a job and mock-up interviews and those kind of things. So let's listen to this recorded audio.
Did you know that there's an office whose purpose is to help ECS students prepare to get a job? As an ECS student, you have the use of Johnson Career Services. Our internship coordinators are ready to help you prepare to get a job, whether an internship or a full-time position. We offer numerous workshops to support your job search from start to finish. From building your technical resume to preparing for interviews, we've got you covered. We're also happy to work with you individually on your resume and answer your job search questions. Each long semester, we offer internship fairs and we provide employer recruiting events throughout the year. If you have an internship related to your major, we even have classes that you can take for credit. Good luck on your job search, and please contact your internship coordinator for more information.
So as you heard about it, Johnson Career Services job is to help you get a job. Okay. So when you do job search, use these resources. They can help you, to make your resume better, and mock-up interviews, and internship fairs, and those kind of things. All kinds of the help from this Johnson Career Services.
Did you?
So let me move on for our graduate program. Our graduate program have, the 3-degree programs: electrical engineering (EE), computer engineering (CE), and telecommunication engineering (TE). And EE, electrical engineering, we have 5 concentrations. Okay, and then CE we have 2 concentrations, and TE, telecommunication engineering, we have just 1 concentration. So concentration, they are circuits, computing systems, devices, power electronics, and energy systems, and signals and systems. And all these 5 concentrations have uniform requirement, that is 30 semester credit hour for master's degree. And out of 39 semester credit hours are designated as core courses. You must take these 3 core courses. And then the remainder of courses that you can have concentration electives and school-wide electives. So 1 course out of 10, you can get it from, you are interested in some biomedical engineering course, or mechanical engineering course, or systems engineering course, something like that. You can take that course and then count it toward your master's degree in EE requirement. And majority of course comes from electrical engineering program itself. So I'd like to send you this slide after this webinar. So you can read it, and if you have questions, you can just send it to me. But the circuits, again, 3 core courses, and 7 elective courses. Devices also 3 core courses, different core courses from circuits, of course, and 7 elective courses. And power and energy, they have different sets of the core courses. Of course, it is power and electric machines and power electronics, those kind of the core courses there. And then signals and systems are slightly different from other concentration. The same 3 core courses, but this probability, random variables, and statistics is must. And you can take 2 out of 3 out of these the 3 courses right here: DSP1, digital communication systems, and linear systems. Okay. Of course, you can take all 4 and take 1 out of 4 as the elective courses. So that's perfectly fine. Signals and systems is one of the largest groups in our department, primarily because of the telecom corridor around here. Historically, there are tons of the telecom companies around here. And we have a lot of the good faculties in the area of the communications and signal processing. The computing systems, the 3 required core courses are advanced digital logic, computer architecture, and microprocessor systems. Okay. And then similar to computing systems, now the computer engineering itself. Computer engineering is a completely different program, but within the electrical and computer engineering department. Just like the undergraduate degree, you have the computer engineering degree or electrical engineering degree. So computer engineering, master's and PhD, it is a complete separate program within electrical and computer engineering department. So computer engineering master's degree, you have the 2 concentration: embedded systems concentration and computer systems concentration. And in computer engineering, we have 4 core courses. So 12 semester credit hours are all must be taken. if you chose embedded systems concentration, these 4 courses must be taken. And computer systems concentration, you must take all these 4 core courses. Note that these 2 courses are from computer science. So computer engineering program is kind of the program that we established between electrical and computer engineering and computer science all together. And there are tons of the computer science faculty, also the faculty of computer engineering program. For telecommunication engineering, there are no concentration. It is just 1 concentration, and it has a little bit different requirement than CE and EE. And TE master's degree, you need 5 core courses, and then there are 5 other the elective courses. Now I'd like to move on for some commonly asked questions. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is fast track. So fast track program, by the way, all these underlined the text is linkable text. So when I send you this slide, you can just click it and then you can go to that page. Either it goes to that web page or the web form. So the core essence of fast track program is you can earn both bachelor's degrees and master's degree in 5 years. That is what it is all for. So how? Basically, you can take your graduate classes up to 15 semester credit hours, 5 courses. 15 semester credit hours, and that 15 semester credit hours is counted toward your bachelor's degree requirement and master's degree requirement. So basically, it is double counted. It is just 5 classes are double counted. That is fast track program. Okay, so currently UTD requires 128 semester credit hours for bachelor's degree. So you can do 113 plus 15. That makes the requirement fulfilled. And out of that, the 128, 15 semester credit hour are from graduate class. Okay, that same 15 semester credit hour is counted toward the 30 semester credit hour master's requirement. So this is how you can save 1 whole year in bachelor's and master's all together. Okay. So you can look at this EE Fast Track program and CE Fast Track program. Just click it, and there is a guideline and what is required, who is eligible, and all those kind of things. So let me briefly talk about who is eligible. So to be eligible for Fast Track program, you need to have an overall GPA of all college courses of at least 3.33. If you are transferred from other school to us, it's still same thing. GPA for all college courses of at least 3.33. That is one of the requirements. There are more requirements in each program. Any program in Johnson School, engineering school, they have the list of so-called benchmark courses. And in benchmark courses, you need to have average benchmark courses GPA of at least 3.5. So it is not for everyone. So fast track program is not for everyone. This is for our top students groups. Okay, and it's very tightly controlled, and there is no really any the room for flexibility. So you need to meet this requirement to be eligible for fast track program. Application deadline is either the March 21st for summer and fall, and October 21st for spring. And we also have some of the late application deadline. In some semesters, like this past spring, not just the March 21st was the deadline. At the end of the semester, we also have the window for fast track application deadline because many students take classes in spring. They want to take they are eligible for fast track program for fall 2021. So we opened this window. So that may be happening, but it is not always guaranteed because of this document process and all those kind of things. Well, if you are not eligible for a fast track program because of the GPA is slightly lower, then there is another the possibility here. So we have a so-called the quick admit program. So quick admit program is divided into two categories. The first category is called auto admit, and second category is called expedited review. So for auto admit, if you have a GPA of the 3.2 or higher, you are eligible for automatic admission. Well, literally, this is automatic admission. If you apply, you are automatically accepted. That's basically what it is. Okay, so you don't need to turn in statement of purpose, no essay, no recommendation letter, no GRE. So you can just go ahead and apply for this auto admit. Expedited review, 3.0 or higher GPA, you are eligible for expedited review. Okay, and again, letters are not needed, GRE waived, and essay is optional, but it is not required. So in the sense, it is expedited review for our graduate program is almost the same as auto admit. So you have the 3.0 or higher GPA, and you are interested in our graduate program, you are nearly automatically admitted. Okay. There are some questions from other departments students. So if you are one of the students in computer engineering program, undergraduate program, or electrical engineering undergraduate program, your GPA is 3.2 or higher, you can choose any the graduate program like electrical engineering, computer engineering, or TE, telecommunication engineering. But you cannot choose the mechanical engineering or biomedical engineering. If you want to do that, you need regular application. So same is true on the other way. So some students in biomedical engineering and some students in mechanical engineering, they are interested into getting into MS in computer engineering. You are not eligible for quick admit or expedited review. So I said the GRE is waived here, but it is waived for application. You don't need to turn it in at the time of application. For quick admit and expedited review, GRE is waived for application. But once you are admitted, then you need to turn in your GRE by the end of first semester of enrollment. Only people who is completely the GRE waived is fast track students. But think about it, at the time of application, you don't need to turn in GRE. And after you are enrolled in master's program, you need to turn in GRE by the end of the first semester, by the end of the first semester. And your admission decision is not reversed regardless of your score, okay? We need just the GRE scores because the GRE score is reported to some of the agencies, and they those agencies use those as one of the metrics for ranking. So we want to maintain our the ranking, the national ranking. So that's why we require this GRE. Okay, but it is not like the regular application. Any regular application, there is no GRE waiver even for application. So they must send us the essay and 3 letters of recommendation and GRE. Without those, it is not even reviewed for admission. I'm not sure if you are aware of this. Application fee is waived for current UTD students for applying for the UTD, the graduate program. Some of you are interested in scholarships and fellowships and TAs and RAs. And TA RA is, TA is it is appointed yearly basis, and it is highly competitive, and priority is given to PhD students. So if you are interested in just a master's degree, TA RA is not really an easy option. Okay. In either case, TA or RA, the faculty support is crucial. So if you definitely need to contact faculty of your research interest, and if you secure faculty support, then you can apply for TA. And RA is strictly from the faculty support itself. Okay. So other than TA and RA, we have Johnson School Dean's Scholarship and Pathways to Research Scholarship, and those scholarships will help you, in terms of the money. The Dean's Scholarship is $1,000. But if some of you are from out of state, this Dean's Scholarship usually comes with, the tuition reduction to in-state rate. So that is one of the big perk for Dean's Scholarship. And this is not need-based, and it is merit-based. So high GPA, again, high GPA and GRE are crucial factors for these scholarships. And Johnson School has a lot of fellowships, actually, the named fellowships. And all these named fellowships are, once again, highly competitive. And most deadlines are in June. So once you're coming into a graduate program, and you may want to look at some of these scholarships. As Wesley mentioned, TexAce, Texas Analog Center of Excellence, they have their own TexAce fellowship. Well, Wesley mentioned about the NSF Graduate Research Fellowship, and I'd like to mention other opportunities, like there are many the federal agencies and national labs, and they have a graduate fellowship program. So National Defense Science and Engineering Graduate Fellowship Program is here, and NASA also have their graduate fellowship program here, and NIST, National Institute of why does not it come to me right now? So NIST Graduate Student Measurement Science and Engineering Fellowship is here. It's for the past the 10 years or so, I have written down quite a few of the recommendation letters for NIST undergraduate students research fellowship program. So they have so-called the Summer Research Undergraduate Research Fellowship Program, SURF, and I have written quite a few of the letters, but for the past several years, I have never asked any request from the students. So I'm not sure if students are aware of this, but there are tons of opportunities for undergraduate students as well, especially for permanent residents and U.S. citizens. You have more opportunities. So I want you to actively search those opportunities and pursue those opportunities. Sandy National Lab has very prestigious Truman Fellowship, and not just the federal agencies and national labs, and Ford Foundations have their own fellowships, and Soros Foundation also have the fellowship, and this is an interesting fellowship. And Soros Fellowship is for new Americans, so newly immigrated American students are eligible for this fellowship. So there are many different fellowships available out there. Okay. So here, I mentioned about this NIST Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, and so some of these national labs and federal agencies have internship program as well. AFRL, Air Force Research Lab, Scholars Program, Jet Propulsion Laboratory Internship Program, and NIST Summer Internship, and NIST Internship, and NASA Internship. So there are many opportunities out there. Okay. So once you go into the graduate program, then your degree requirements are outlined very well in the graduate catalog, and we have a so-called degree plan, and the degree plan must be submitted for master's students. Okay. Must be submitted by the end of the first semester of enrollment, and the second degree plan must be submitted toward the end of one semester before graduating semester. We call it final degree plan and first semester degree plan. Okay, so this degree plan is a tool that helps you track your progress. As I mentioned, every concentration area has core courses and elective courses. And so you may choose your classes carefully to maximize learning and graduate on time. Okay, and you need to take the required core courses as quickly as possible. You never know what happens, so take core courses first, then elective courses. That is our recommendation. And you can click here, and you can get the degree plan in the page. And actually, that is all I have. And you can have access to these online resources for graduate program. So graduate student resources web pages are there are quite a few, and you can click each page and you can find some of these the relevant information. And if you need help, you can always contact our office, ECE Graduate Program Office, and we have one centralized email. So ECE Grad Program at utdallas.edu for any and all inquiry and anything related to our graduate program. You can send email to this email address. Okay, and we also have the Instagram and Facebook page, and we often upload some new information over there in our social media. Okay. Actually, basically, that's all I have, and so let me stop sharing the screen. And let me open this floor for any questions. So if you have any question, I can answer live now.
So are there any kind of research requirements? So to become a grad student, are you required to participate in any kind of research or become a TA for any courses as part of your program?
There is no requirement of research. So if you are interested in just a master's degree, then you can just strictly take the just classes. So minimum requirement is 30 semester credit hours. So you can take 10 3 semester credit hour, 10 classes, and you can get master's degree without any research. If you do want to have the research experience, out of the 10 classes, one class, depending on degree program, one class may be individual instruction or research experience. So you can talk to the faculty of your research interest, and you can have your own, the research program set for 3 semester credit worthy for 1 semester. Okay, then
Okay.
you can get research experience as well as count that toward your 30 semester credit hour requirement. Of course, PhD, it is research. Okay,
Yes.
so it's a completely different story. And the second question you asked is the being a TA is a requirement or part of the program? No, it is not a part of a program at all. Actually, the being a TA is highly competitive, and it is never be linked to the requirement of any program.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question, Andy. Any other question from anyone else?
Hello, Professor.
Hey, Ayush.
I had one question. I was thinking to start my fast track from fall 2022, and I'm graduating in spring 2023. So I'm thinking to apply in spring to get some classes, guided electives at the grad level for 2 semesters. So do you think, because I don't know what is the consistency of the classes being offered, so it's very uncertain right now, like if I'll even get the classes with a grad level course or not. So
Basically, thank you for your question. Basically, you have great the perfect plan. So you are admitted into fast track program in fall 22 and graduating your bachelor's degree in spring 23. That's really perfect schedule, and you apply for fast track program in spring 22. That is a perfect schedule. Okay, so if you want to look at the course offerings and those kind of things, you can always use this the UTD course book, and you can always trace back 2 or 3 or 4 years of which courses are offered in some of your the course interest. Okay, and typically courses are offered just regularly. If a course is offered every semester, it is offered every semester. If it is offered once a year, normally there are the exceptions, but normally it is repeated. Okay, if there are some courses that is offered like once in 2 years, then it is typically repeated once in 2 years. But those courses you need to be a little bit careful and the plan ahead to take that course. Okay, so and also to be eligible for fast track program, you need to have benchmark courses all knocked down. So be sure to be eligible for fast track program, be sure to plan well for spring 22. If you have not done so for taking all the benchmark courses, you need to plan well for spring 22 so that you fulfill all this benchmark course requirement, and then you're good to go. Did I answer your question, Ayushi?
yes, that was a very good description. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm actually gonna get done with the benchmark courses this semester. So
very good, very good, very good. Then you are ready.
Okay,
I do
and
have-
one other question I had was, I'm a CE major, but I was thinking to do embedded system concentration for fast track, but I'm also thinking rather to doing a fast track in EE major, having a concentration in circuits. So I don't know what path should I follow exactly. What would you recommend?
Well, so it is really up to your decision, but the CE and EE is completely different program. That please keep that in mind. Okay, if you change your mind later, you cannot switch back to MSEE to MSCE, vice versa. Okay, so you need to carefully choose when you apply for fast track program. Okay, so circuits, once again, 3 required courses and 7 elective courses there. And CE embedded systems, you have the 4 required courses and 6 elective courses. And MSEE, MSCE, it's really your choice. Okay. From other perspective, like job perspective and those kind of things, it doesn't really matter.
Thank you. Yes, I understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aishi.
I do have a couple more questions. One of them regarding the benchmark courses. So because when like COVID initially hit, I decided to go do community college. So fall 2020, I was at community college, and of course that put me a semester behind on my critical path. So this previous summer, I had to take I think network analysis just to try to get back onto my degree plan for EE critical path. But that's all, of course, that kind of jumbled up my schedule. So I'm going to be finishing up most of my benchmark courses this upcoming spring. So because I won't be finishing all of my benchmark courses until next spring, will I not be eligible to apply this upcoming spring, or will I have to wait till the fall to apply?
That is actually a very good question. And if the history teaches us anything, the Johnson School undergraduate the dean's office actually did accept students applying for fast track program at the end of the spring semester for fall 21 semester. So
Okay.
I think it will be repeated. So if you finish all your benchmark courses by spring 22, of course, there is a requirement for GPA and everything. And if you fulfill that requirement, I highly believe that it will be likely we will accept application after the end of the spring semester.
Okay, that's good news. And I also have one more question because I recently got accepted into this program funded by the Department of Defense. So so next summer I'm gonna basically already have my internships and job lined up for post graduation. However, they also are flexible and are willing to also fund a graduate degree. So I'm considering going into an MS in either EE or systems engineering. And since I'm going to be working for the Department of Defense as a civilian engineer, I was wondering, would there be like a better field to go into, whether systems engineering or EE? Because I believe it's been a while since I looked at the concentrations for systems engineering, but aren't there like 12 different concentrations for systems, and one of which being like a specialization in defense?
Well, that's a very good question. And first, I'd like to really congratulate you on your, securing that the DoD the job. So basically, if you're interested in some aspect of systems, many systems engineering courses are cross-listed with EE course because all these systems engineering faculty actually have a background in EE, and they were faculty members of EE and started systems engineering the program. Okay, so there are actually very few courses that are not cross-listed with EE in systems engineering course.
Okay.
So if you do that, if you choose the EE cross-listed systems engineering course, if you are interested in, then it is signals and systems in EE, MSEE signals and systems, and signals and systems systems engineering. Okay, it is the linkage are there. Okay, so I believe a lot of the classes that you are interested in are already EE cross-listed, if not owned by EE. Okay, there are only 5 faculty members in the systems engineering, and not all of them are actively teaching multiple classes. So many classes are actually they're handled by EE or mechanical engineering. So You may look at the course that you want to take, that your interest, and make a list, and which one is EE cross-listed and things like that, and you can think about it. If there are not many EE cross-listed, maybe you need to really seriously think about going to systems engineering. But this is it. ECE Graduate Program webinar. From my perspective, I'd like to just say this. Many of those courses are cross-listed in signals and systems in EE. So that's what I can provide. Of course, I want to hold over you until you graduate.
Yeah, I don't want to get into too many in-depth questions about like the systems engineering, so I might just have to reach out to some like the systems engineering advisor, like faculty for some of those questions. But thank you very much.
Yeah, to be fair, you need to talk to a graduate advisor in systems engineering.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, if there are no more questions, then now it is 11:03. It is just over the promised time for the 10 to 11. So it is just over the time frame. So I'd like to thank you, everyone who joined this morning's webinar. Like I said, if you have any question, you can just contact me, or you can send email to ecegradprogram@utdallas.edu. All right. So thank you so much one more time, and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you, Alexis.